Hey, so Concetta, we met at Kundalini Yoga. So what was your experience of Kundalini Yoga?
Well, first of all, it was really hard. I'm used to practicing Jivamukti Yoga, which is based more on Ashtanga, and so there's a lot of vinyasa, and this was just like holding different poses and doing a lot of pranayama, and man, I thought I was like a really great yogi. I just kicked my ass. But I loved it. I absolutely loved it because I really felt like the energy moving in extraordinary ways. It's a pretty magical practice.
Yeah. How long have you been doing yoga?
For about 5 years.
Ah, and what has it contributed to your life?
Well, it's actually really changed my life. Let's see. Short version or long version? Okay. Well, for one thing, it gave me a connection to God again. I kind of was a bit of an atheist. The long story is this. Well, I'll try to make it short. My father was going to be a rabbi. He went to yeshiva, and he had a very religious family. And he met my mother actually in graduate school. She was not Jewish, and she came from a Catholic family. And basically, they met and fell in love. And he decided not to be a rabbi anymore. Actually, he decided a while ago not to be a rabbi, and he wanted to be a psychologist. But he was still quite religious. After he met my mother, he had so much trouble with the family because she was not Jewish. And they basically wanted to disown him. And he was so hurt and so kind of disillusioned with religion. Even my mother converted to Judaism, and they still wouldn't accept her. And so he kind of threw it out. And it's really sad in a way. I was raised always identifying as Jewish, but we were never very religious because my father was so hurt by his family, which, by the way, now has been healed, which is really nice. And now we all have a relationship to my aunt and my extended family on my father's side, which is great. But it took a very long time. So in any case, I kind of grew up thinking that religion was something that tore people apart and wasn't really something that brought about love. And when I got into yoga, I kind of found God again, and so I'm very, very grateful for that. So that's kind of the story.
Wow. We were talking about raw foods a lot. So when we were talking after yoga, and you mentioned that about 90% plus of your diet is now raw food. So why did you get into raw food so much, and what has that done for your life?
Well, after I started becoming very spiritual with yoga, I became obsessed with evolving my consciousness. And I found that raw food, what it actually does for you, and what raw food means is that simply you do not heat up or cook any of your food. And the reason why is that it kills about 50% of the minerals and vitamins and 80% of the enzymes. And the idea is that you eat a lot of living, high prana, high energy-giving food, and that actually clears your channel to the divine and also gives you superior health and living on a higher vibration. And so I was like, okay, that's really interesting, except for the fact that I love to eat. I mean, totally. I come from, my father's side Jewish, my mother's side Sicilian, and it's like, okay, let's eat. So I was like, I can't live on carrots and everything alone. But when I really got into the cuisine, you can make such extraordinary things. Like I can make cheese out of nuts, and I can make delicious crackers and even breads that are raw. And I just made a strawberry mousse pie last night for a friend's birthday that was completely raw. So I've been doing that for a while, for about a year. I never get sick. I travel the world and never get sick. And I can tell you that my meditation and yoga practice has gone to a new level, as well as just my thinking and my spiritual connection.
Wow. And how much has it increased your food bill?
Tripled. I literally just did my taxes last night with my father, and I write down everything I spend. And I mean, I can't. It's blasphemous if I would tell you how much I spent on food last year. It's horrendous. But the philosophy is you save on doctors' bills later, and I believe that.
How do you keep it up when you're traveling?
Well, it's all about intention and commitment. And preparation. I travel with a blender, a little blender, travel blender, and I take so much stuff with me. I take a lot of dehydrated crackers and nuts and dried fruits and almond butter, seaweeds, and I have a whole little kind of section in my suitcase for it. And wherever you go, you can get fresh produce. I mean, you just go grocery, and I mean, I like to have organic. In fact, that's very important. In fact, everybody should eat organic because it's got nearly 3 times as many vitamins and minerals as conventional, as well as not being genetically modified or having just like shit tons of chemicals all over it.
Right, right. So when you were a child, what did you want to be when you grew up?
Well, I wanted to either be a psychologist, like both of my parents are psychologists, or a movie star. And I feel like a little bit of both, actually, as Princess Superstar, because, like, I definitely end up counseling a lot of people, believe it or not, and I make people feel good. And then so I'm also part movie star because I definitely have this crazy, glamorous persona.
And in high school, where were you in the social pecking order?
Oh, George. I was like president of the Latin club. I was pretty smart, and like the smart girls, like nobody liked that. You had to be like on the lacrosse team and like 40. And I was like, yeah, Latin club. I mean, I don't need to say anything else about that.
And where did you go to college and what did you study?
I went to NYU, and I actually studied theater, drama. I went because I did actually want. I wanted to be an actress since I was little, actually.
Yeah. And so how did this Princess Superstar thing evolve?
Well, I started playing guitar in college. And when I got out of college, I would go on all these auditions, and I wasn't, like, getting very many parts. Like, I did a little stint of Romeo and Juliet, actually. That was great. I mean, nothing on no big stage, though. But I started joining bands, and I was like, wow, you can just kind of get up and play, and you don't have to wait for someone to give you a job. You know, this acting stuff sucks. You have to wait. You're totally beholden to whatever wins. But, like, if you're in a band, you can just go, and you can go play that night in some club in New York, you know. So I was finding more and more success with music. And then, hold on, my bird is screaming. Come on, baby. Okay.